All right, let's finish our conversation. And so we were just talking about student notifications. So if that is something that is important to you and you want a way to kind of know when things are being done, that would be a good thing for you. So we have that. We have student notifications. If you're interested in knowing more about me, I'm listed out here. And I don't really think I want to say anything else about that, do I? No, probably not. Let's see. Give me just a second. So we looked at course information. We can see how it's laid out there. I also have listed out here your assignment guidelines. Because there's a lot of things going on, and we want to help you keep that straight. So, for example, your discussions. We've got your discussions listed out here. We'd like you to use Microsoft Word. And here's how you can keep track of that. Your needs assessment assignments. Well, let's just look at one of these real quick. So we're getting specific because we would like you to follow the guidelines on there. We are going to use APA for the course instead of MLA or Turabian. So we're going to be looking at this. So for example, your first question, your chapter 9, 1 page in length, single-spaced, 12-point font. Write up your responses. Make sure you have a name on your assignment so that I return it to you correctly. And then after looking at the information that you were asked to take a look at, here are some questions that we would like for you to answer. So that's for an example of your discussion questions. For your needs assessments, we are going to spend a lot of time on this. This is really the tough part of the course. It's your meat and potatoes of the class, and these are the things we're going to be building on for the semester. So needs assessment 1 and 2 combined. You can see we've got some rather stringent ideas of how we would like for you to craft this. And consider this a way too. It is a challenge that you are being asked to write in a particular way, but this is professional writing, which may be very different than what some of you are used to coming from undergraduate or from other programs. And so this will make it. And so help us out by going by looking at this. So your needs assessments 1 and 2, then you've got 3 and 4. You also have learning activities, which I've already laid out. So for example, your learning activity 1, which is coming out, I have we're going to ask you to use theories and models in public health practices, have some ideas of what we would like you to do, and then we have divided you all up so that at least you all have that these are fairly shared throughout here, and here's who's going to be reporting on what, and so you will submit these separately. It would be nice for you to have a voiceover on these, if you would, because it helps us get reacquainted with you, and it'll get you into the process too, because you're going to use these so that everybody else in the class will have access to them. So you're actually teaching. This is a teaching moment for you, whether it's about health belief model or social support or intersectionality. There's all kinds of different ways. And so of course, we want everybody to know about these, but some of us are going to be doing the research and reporting on those, and the rest of us are going to be learning from that. So, and you will do this with learning activities 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So those are all out there. Then you also have an oral presentation, which is very nicely done, and so you're going to use this. I'm giving you some ideas. You can use Screencast-O-Matic to do that. Actually, you could do your reports this way too. Your final and your written report, what is going to be due and what is all required for this particular item. It is laid out here for you, and we would like for you to use the framework that's listed here. Don't need to come up with one of your own. Just use that so that there's continuity there. And then we've also listed some examples of what students have done in the past that maybe will give you a better frame of how all this makes sense. So I guess what I would like to say, what's good about this class? This class is going to get you started because you're going to be working, you're going to find a community partnership that you would like to work with. And so we don't assign you to that because we're not going to pick the topics for you because we don't really know what you are interested in pursuing. But you will want it to be something that you have passion about because you're going to be working with this particular group this particular community group for the next 3 semesters. And so you will want to search something out, something that's available to you. For those of you who are in the workforce, it does need to be something separate from where you are working. So I hope that makes sense. If not, you can drop me an email. We can talk a little bit about that. But we do want you to do this. Don't be thinking too long about this, because there's a lot of work to be done, and you will find out very quickly that the people within our communities, maybe they're kind of hesitant to work with us because of past experiences, but we want it to be a good working relationship. We want it to be a relationship that maybe you could choose to continue after the course is over. In the least, you're going to report back to your community partnerships, and you're going to report back to them. You're going to give them information about what you all came up with. You're also going to give them information from your implementation of whatever programming that you're going to do. And that's something that they can use. And so think about a group of people that you would like to work with. For those of you, I don't know where everybody is located, but you can work in groups of 2 if you would like, or if you choose, you just want to work on this on your own for this to be your own project. That's totally understandable. And you can go that route as well too. So for this week, what do I want to say here? So we've got calendar information that's listed out here you can take a look at here. There's also your folks here that you can talk to. I've probably already said this, hadn't I? I'm sorry. We've got a discussion board where if you have questions for us, you can send general questions. Send it out here. I'll take a look at it and answer it. If it's something to do specifically with a graded item or feedback, please just send me an email. And then I think we've already talked about this. My apologies. I haven't divided you up into groups. What do I want to say? Let's just look at this week, okay? So for week 1, I do try to get you started here. We do have topics and objectives for this upcoming week. So, looking at the syllabus, reviewing course goals, objectives, requirements, and schedule. We'll briefly discuss assignment number 1, self-assessment of your own career goals and program competencies. And then I'd like you to become familiar with Healthy People 2020. So there's what we would like for you to accomplish this week. You can take a look at supplemental information. Supplemental information is listed out here. It's a part of the introduction, and you can take a look at this information, and that would also go along with any kind of readings that you would have. And so there's also an activity that there's a self-assessment of competencies that we would like you to contribute to on the discussion board. So look at the course competencies and objectives, rate your own level of competency using the following scale, and honesty is always the best policy here. We'd like you to do that. It's also a way for you to introduce yourself to the class. Your honesty is encouraged. And it's also a good way for you to kind of see towards the end of the semester how far you've come, because you're gonna be processing a lot with this course and with other courses as well. And so and as I say, let's face it, you're not expected to know all this. Otherwise, why would you be taking the class? And so consider this a challenge. It's not a deficiency in yourself. We have a lot to learn from each other. And so in addition to scoring yourself, I'd like you to share your name, include a photo of yourself either on your detailed profile, and you can set that up there, or on the discussion board. Tell us where you live, where you grew up, what's something unique about yourself, and then discuss your ratings. In the terms of background, including any relevant past and present experiences, including maybe some work you've done in previous coursework or public health related fields that have helped you meet some of those competencies. And then I'd like you to share this via the discussion board. And then you all can kind of have some conversations there too. So that is what we would like for you to do. Let me pull something else up here. I want to go back here. See what I'm doing. Okay, your assignment 1. So your activity, this assessment career goals, this is different. And your discuss assignment 1, which will be due on the 9th. So it's not due next week. So you could go out here and look at your discussion questions. Chapter 9. Okay. So this is separate from your discussion board, but from your exploration of Healthy People 2020, Chapter 9, think about this. Think about exploring the terms related to community or defining community or community that you would like to work with within the class. Answer the questions that are listed there. Look at, there's some specific items that are, questions 1 through 5, and just be sure that you're addressing them in a succinct way and help us to better understand you, and that's also going to go to the Dropbox. Okay? So that is your first assignment. What else do I want to say? Just that there's a lot of information out there, and it will take some time for you to get to the point where you feel very comfortable with this. So if it's uncomfortable right now, that's totally understandable. We don't mind that it is this way. This is what you're doing in your class activity. You can look at some of the links that are listed out here, talking about social determinants of health, principles according to needs assessment principles. You're going to do some reading there. Think about these, and really don't just shortchange yourself by saying, well, I can always refer back to these slides later. Take some time to kind of digest this. Give yourself a little bit of processing time. So even though you don't have class next week, this will give you a way to kind of be prepared for what we do when we come back. So if you've got any questions, please reach out to me. Again, it's easier to get a hold of me through email, but you can also send emails. You can leave messages if you're here on campus. Make an appointment with me. I'd be glad to talk with you, and I'm really glad to have you here for the semester. We're going to get to know each other really well, and I'm excited to kind of be thinking about what you all may be thinking about and who you want to be working with for beginning this semester and also carrying on through the spring semester and next fall. Okay, go Bucks, and welcome to the MPH program.